Ladies and gentlemen, however you're listening, wherever you are listening, thank you so much. This is the Pile on Podcast, where we love football and hate your opinions. My name is Donnie Duran. I'm joined by my co-host, Austin Verzoko.
What's up?
And Skylar Burkhart.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Our other co-host, Richie Bradshaw, is absent with the flu today, so best wishes, my man. Hopefully you get better soon. As we reiterated on the last episode, Vicks and tissues, get on the hype train now. We are brought to you by the Pulse Podcast Network, proud partners of them, and StatementGames.com. Discover the future of fantasy football at StatementGames.com. This is the professional football episode, and we're calling it the professional football episode because we were talking some AAF, Alliance of American Football, the inaugural weekend. But before we dive into that, let's go ahead and talk some actual pro football at the NFL level. Kareem Hunt was signed to a 1 year, was it $9 million? No, 1 year, $1 million.
Just north of $1 million.
Yep.
No guarantees.
So, no guarantees at all. With the Cleveland Browns, and now have a backfield of Nick Chubb, Duke Johnson Jr., and Kareem Hunt. Thoughts? Because this is a pretty controversial signing.
Smart football move, dumb public media move.
I think it was unnecessary. You have Chubb and Johnson. You did not need Kareem Hunt. You're going to take on all this publicity for a guy who's going to be, should Chubb play like he did last year, as impactful as Chubb it was.
Yeah, I mean, he was one of the best running backs in the league whenever he played. And then, all of the stuff came out about, him and what he did. He was released, 4 months ago?
Seems like years ago at this point.
About 3 months ago. Released right before the Chiefs had their playoff runs. So that was a big loss for them. A lot of people are upset. A lot of people are upset for what he did and the fact that, he made a mistake, and a lot of people don't feel like he kind of did his due diligence and did his time to work his way back, because he's himself said that he needed to earn his way back into the NFL. And, a couple months later, when you're signing a contract, it really doesn't look like you're earning your way back.
Yeah, what has he done over the offseason to really do it? Because there hasn't even been an offseason.
He has been in rehab, I guess, for anger management and then domestic violence. He's been in rehab for both of those during this offseason, and he's going to continue to while his suspension is going.
And that's kind of the catch-22 with this situation.
Exactly.
I was talking about it with my girlfriend before I came over here. I was like, hey, how do you feel about the Chiefs signing the Browns signing Kareem Hunt? And, I was talking to her, and I'm like, well, on one hand, I understand where everybody is, frustrated and kind of upset, especially, I know a few female Browns fans who have, a really bad history of domestic violence in their past, and they're not okay with it. They're not happy with the Kareem Hunt signing at all. But also, on the other hand, I'm not inside of his head. I don't know the healing he's done. I don't know him, so I can't sit here in front of a microphone right now and say, hey, you haven't done what you needed to do. You haven't healed. You haven't done X, Y, and Z. I can't do that because I don't know him as a man. I don't know if he's actually completed the process he's needed to or not. Granted, I do think the time frame's a little short, but, different people go through different things and, different time frames.
Yeah, I think that, remind me really quick, what was his incident in Toledo that caused his draft stock to slip? Does anybody remember? Skylar, could you look that up while I keep on talking? But I find it interesting that he goes into Cleveland, where in the state of Ohio, which is where the incident had occurred in the first place, where he kicked that woman, back to his former GM who had drafted him, knowing he had issues coming out of Toledo, seeing those issues, and yet he's willing to take him right back onto the team.
John Dorsey has always been a guy for taking gambles and giving guys second chances. Kareem Hunt, Tyreek Hill.
Josh Gordon.
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but technically, isn't this his third chance?
He punched a male guest during an argument at a party.
So technically, isn't this his third chance then? Because it's anger related. I mean, like you said, we don't know him. We don't know what he's gone through. We don't know what the Browns did to do their due diligence in regards to signing him. But at the end of the day, I just think as the Browns, why? You have Chubb, who's a perfect running back for your system, and Duke Johnson, who can catch the ball out of the backfield. Why do you need to go out and get Kareem Hunt with all that publicity and bring all that attention to your organization when you're trying to turn around the culture of being the laughingstock of the league and possibly a playoff team next year?
I mean, this isn't a dumb GM. He's got a plan for this. He could be holding on to him, and if he's cleared and is ready to play in the NFL, it could be trade value. We don't know what other NFL teams are going to think of him once he goes through the process of getting clean and getting help. Maybe he can turn around into a 6th round or 7th round draft.
Well, he's still going to be facing a suspension this year.
Yeah, definitely.
He's not going to be playing all 16.
But he's not going to get paid. I mean, Dorsey set it up where you're not getting paid. The only way he can earn the incentives I saw was either by workouts or games. Like you have to do either or.
Well, workouts are going to be easy for him to get that money,
but you can't be suspended for it.
I don't know. If John Dorsey's trying to outsmart everybody, I think, if I can take a top running back off of the market for $1 million and put him on my team so nobody else can get him, I'm absolutely going to do it.
Well, here's another tidbit of information. He's a restricted free agent after this season.
Really?
Yep. So the Browns
can hold on to him.
Browns can hold on to him for dirt cheap, or they can let him walk and get a compensatory, like a first, second, or third, or fourth, whatever they designate him for the restricted tender.
So there you go. You could right there. He's setting up for the future of getting compensation for him.
I don't know. There's never such thing as like too much talent on your football team, but the Cleveland's backfield was pretty damn good last year. So none of us were expecting the Browns to make this move out of all
and that's after they got rid of Carlos Hyde too. On top of that,
yeah. But no, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Transition from the Cleveland Browns to Antonio Brown. One staying, one going. Antonio Brown officially made a trade request to the Pittsburgh Steelers today per Adam Schefter.
Officially?
ESPN. Yep.
It's not Jason LaCanfora.
Dude, if Jason LaCanfora tells me the sky is blue, I won't fucking believe him. His information is so wrong on such a consistent basis, dude.
How does he have a blue check mark?
How's he have a job? How's Stephen A. Smith have a job? Oh my gosh. Anyway, that's a 12-minute rant I can go into. Antonio Brown requested a trade today.
That's an oddly specific time. A 12-minute rant that you can go into.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's got a topic. He's ready for one day. We're going to go over this.
Nah, Austin has a minute this week. But Antonio did it in the weirdest of ways. Not really. If you followed Antonio through his career, he's been very big on social media, especially as of late. He's posted just a bunch of ambiguous shit all over his social media.
San Francisco or bust.
Yeah, I guess, man. Today he posted a video with the caption, Steelers Nation's been a great 9 years, but it's time to move on. And I thought the song choice was interesting. I Do What I Want by Lil Uzi Vert. And then the song says, I do what I want, basically. Wow. And he said, #new demand. So, yeah, that's how he kind of let the public know that he was on the way out of Pittsburgh.
So you think he maybe, because I think it's not a mystery that he possibly had requested a trade prior to this, but you think maybe he requested a trade to a specific team now with the new demand hashtag?
Maybe, yeah, but I feel, and I want this to be very clear with everybody, that's going to be following the situation moving forward. Antonio Brown has no say or leeway in the situation. Antonio Brown is not in the driver's seat. He cannot make decisions for himself. The Steelers ultimately have the rights to his contract. They're accruing the $22 million in dead cap anyway, so I don't think they can give two rats' asses whether he plays or not next year, because they're still going to be paying him regardless. The Steelers are still in the driver's seat. Now, whether they want to trade him to a place where he wants to go personally, that's a whole nother discussion. Personally, I don't think they're going to do it. I think they want to trade him to a place where they're going to get the most value, and that's a whole nother topic. What's his value? We don't know.
From what I've been seeing, it's a 5th round right now.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I've seen I would give up a 7th if that. From there's an unnamed exec on a story on Bleacher Report that the guy basically said with everything that's going on with the locker room stuff, all the players coming out and talking against him, the former players talking against him, his reckless driving, and all of his antics on social media, they're saying that they would be lucky to get a 7th, and in all realism, a conditional 5th would be like a done deal for the Steelers if they got it.
All right, if that's the case, just keep him on the team and just have him off the injury report every week. Then.
Here's a point I want to make. You said he's on the driver's seat. I think he's on the driver's seat yet. And
I said he's not in the driver's seat.
Well, I mean, he's not. Yeah, he's going to be in the driver's seat soon.
How? Yeah, I'm interested.
How much destructive and negative media can you take as a Steelers before you finally just like, all right,
that's done. There is not much more that man can do to cause more harm to that football team from a PR standpoint.
But how much are you going to want to take it as the Steelers? You know, what do you want this to drag into regular season? When's the point where if they can't get a trade partner, they just cut them?
Well, if anything, this is the Steelers' way of saying to all of their players and players that will be drafted or signed by the Steelers, we don't tolerate this. You come in here and you're going to pull these antics, and you even think that you're just going to demand a trade and get out? No.
I mean, this is a whole different kind of social media.
The Steelers fucked over Le'Veon Bell the last 2 years. You think they're not going to do the same to Antonio Brown?
And they're going to fuck him over again this year, probably.
Yeah, they are. Pay your ass, they are.
I would love to see how T.O. would have been if Twitter was around then, compared to this.
T.O.'s mentoring Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown also has been hanging out with Chad Johnson. So 2 phenomenal role models, off the bat.
And James Harrison.
Yeah, let's not forget the saint that James Harrison is.
Dude, off topic, you guys seen Ocho Cinco's Twitter lately?
Dude, it's funny.
It is pretty funny.
His Twitter is funny.
That dude, him and T.O. still think they can come back to them. I'll let just be done. No more. Just be done.
But just back to Antonio Brown, this is I don't even know the right word to describe the situation.
This is a circus.
Yeah, it is a circus. How I put it on Twitter the other day, it's like an episode of The Bachelor. Who will the Steelers give the rose to for Antonio Brown to have?
I'm curious to see how he plays without Ben Roethlisberger.
I'm definitely curious about that.
He's never caught a touchdown pass that was not thrown by him.
I'm curious because that was a huge part of his success, whether people want to admit it or not. That connection he had with Ben Roethlisberger, Ben being able to trust him with those throws. I mean, I know you guys haven't watched like Steeler games extensively. Half of those balls he caught, those balls were forced.
Yeah.
Double coverage. Yeah, I know. And
granted, you trust a guy like Antonio Brown to come down with it. But I mean, okay, let's say he goes to San Francisco, plays with Jimmy Garoppolo.
That's gonna be a dumpster fire to restart.
What's he gonna do?
He's got to rekindle or restart. Sorry, start all over again.
A receiver can only be as good as their quarterback is.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins.
DeAndre Hopkins played with literally a pile of dung and been able to be outstanding.
Calvin Johnson.
We're underrating Matt Stafford.
Hey, we all know how Matt Stafford is felt about on this podcast.
You know how he
puts up numbers.
Okay,
you saw the record.
Matt Schaub and Andre Johnson.
Matt Stafford has the record for most.
Larry Fitzgerald and God knows how many shit quarterbacks they've had.
I'd have to get the record, but Donnie saw it on Twitter. It was Matt Stafford is the record for like most passing yards within his first 5 years in the NFL.
Y'all can handle Matthew Stafford all he wants. He puts up numbers.
Yeah.
Those aren't W's in a win column, and at the end of the day, that's what matters, so that's fine. But from a putting numbers up perspective...
Yes, he does. He
puts up numbers. And
that's all you want.
I'll just leave it at that. I just don't know if Antonio can carry the...
And they said they'd send him to Buffalo too. That was another place they're saying send him to Buffalo.
Well, it's not like his slate's going to be wiped clean. He's not going to be a whole new man. Do you know how much luggage this man carries with him?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It sucks.
Two things back to back. You got Bell, and now you got Antonio Brown. Who's to say Big Ben doesn't go off the deep end on this?
Well, Big Ben will probably retire in the next year or two.
Yeah.
You would hope. You know what? If you're the Steelers, you don't want to see any more drama. You want it to be done. After Antonio Brown, no more. Just be done with it.
I can tell you right now, the Steelers don't win the Super Bowl next year. They're cleaning house.
Well, that's what topic I was going to ask you about, Donnie. You have Le'Veon Bell, who's a huge attitude problem.
Yep.
You have Antonio Brown, who's a huge attitude problem.
Yep.
Is this is this more so an organization?
Oh God, Pittsburgh Twitter would love you right now.
You would be.
I'm just wondering.
Good thing you don't have Twitter. Yeah, if you would have posted on Twitter, you'd be dead.
The problem with Pittsburgh, and born and raised there, love my city more than anything. The problem with Pittsburgh is that they are just so clinged to the past. And maybe as a Packers fan with those great Lombardi teams, you might know.
Yes.
You just can't escape the past. No matter if something goes wrong. Chuck Noll's Steelers wouldn't have done this.
Yes.
Lombardi's Packers wouldn't have done this.
That's all they say on Steelers Twitter.
Dude.
But I'm not saying that in that regard. I'm saying more so. Do you look towards Tomlin? About
let me work this in.
Okay.
So people can't let go of the past. So whenever Bill Cowher came along, people were kind of iffy to him, and then they saw him chewing and yelling, they loved him, and then here comes Mike Tomlin, just a calm, for the most part, cool, relaxed kind of guy who's a quote unquote players coach. And with a players coach, what do? You give your guys a little bit of leeway. And, unfortunately, he's just had a couple bad apples out of the bunch take advantage of the leeway. People do think it's an organizational problem. People were really upset with the Steelers president, Art Rooney II, for not coming out and saying something sooner. I mean, let's think about it. Like, I don't have anything Steelers on me right now, but that logo, that's everything, dude.
No.
Like, in Pittsburgh, that's higher above the cross. Dude, and so, like,
I understand.
When you have shit like this happen, people take it seriously, man. And, this is a brand. Like, it's not... Okay, I bought a Le'Veon Bell and Antonio Brown jersey. I don't give a fuck about those jerseys, okay? Okay.
You gonna burn them?
I will... No, I'm not gonna burn them. No.
People are already starting to do that.
No, I know. I'm going to give them the goodwill like a sensible person. It's about the team instead of the player. And when you're letting specific players, jeopardize what your team represents, then it becomes an organizational problem. This should have been taken care of months ago. Months ago, this should have been handled.
I think Antonio Brown's biggest thing at that whole practice situation should have been handled that day.
Apparently, that didn't happen.
That report
according to Ben Roethlisberger and Cameron Hayward, the whole throwing the ball thing and the running the wrong route thing, that didn't happen.
Yeah, but you're going to say that, though, as a teammate to try and keep everybody off of running that story.
Oh, no, his teammates have been very proactive about how they feel. Ask Le'Veon Bell. They came out, and they had a lot of few choice words for him. And the second Antonio Brown's traded, you're going to see a lot more people come out.
And it's going to be unnamed sources.
Yep. But, that's enough for Antonio Brown today.
Your blood pressure worked up a little too much?
No, not really. It's frustrating. It sucks because you watch this kid go from like the bottom, growing with Miami to becoming a 6th-round pick. And, he comes up. We didn't want to give Mike Wallace money. We told him to go kick rocks. And then, this kid just bursts on the scene and like the city embraces him and the city loves him. And, he's all about, a call guy, chest up, eyes up, praise up, this and that. And, he becomes this like role model for like, your family and your kids and shit. And then, he gets money and all of a sudden just starts... He flips a switch and dude's a wacko. Like, this city has had his back through all of the other shit. The reason why Antonio Brown has never gotten the Dez Bryant treatment is because Cowboys fans did not embrace Dez Bryant like the Steelers embraced Antonio Brown.
No, it took forever for them to embrace Dez.
It took him until after he left.
Yep.
And, it sucks because he turned his back on the city that had his back. So, no, it's whatever. It's part of the business. I mean, you see people's true colors. I hope he's okay mentally. Dyeing his fucking mustache blonde, and acting like this. And,
we don't know.
Baby mama drama and all that shit.
Just one last question, Doug. Yep. It's probably a stupid question, but I'm going to ask it.
Sure.
Patrick Peterson had a trade request in.
Oh, no.
Changed his mind. Any way that Brown stays on the Steelers and actually plays next season?
That's going to take a conversation between him, Mike Tomlin, and Ben Roethlisberger, probably Art Rooney II as well. That conversation's not going to happen.
Okay.
From everybody I know, from the people I follow, from the information I've seen, this horse has been dead for a while, and now it's just kind of coming to light. So.
Okay.
I think we've seen the last of Antonio Brown in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Never thought I'd say that, but here we are.
Yeah.
Business.
Yeah. Last year I bought my Antonio Brown jersey. Look where I'm at now.
Dude, I had a bunch of friends get like Antonio Brown shit for Christmas. I was thinking about getting an Antonio Brown jersey this year, and I'm like, nah, like I'll hold off.
Good thing you held off.
Yeah, really though, man.
I'm going to keep the jersey just because it's a memory. You remember his greatness and what he accomplished during that span. You don't want to remember, the 1 or 2 years he had with his drama. You want to remember.
He's going to be remembered exactly like Terrell Owens is.
Yep.
Which is sad.
And he shouldn't be. What he did in Pittsburgh during the years, what was it, 2000? I can't remember where he started, but it was a historical run.
Yeah.
We may not see that again.
At least in Pittsburgh, shit, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of like that Juju guy. I think he's okay.
Juju's got a little all right. Promise.
I think he's all right. But, moving on to promise, the Alliance of American Football started their inaugural play of weekend this past weekend. I got to watch a couple games personally on Sunday. Thoughts on the AAF?
Well, first off, let's tell our viewers about some of the differences between AAF and the NFL.
Let's do it.
What is some things that you guys know that the AAF has different than the NFL?
Okay, so kickoffs are eliminated. So teams will get the ball on, I think it's the 20 or the 25?
25.
Teams will get the ball on the 25-yard line. Whenever a team scores a touchdown, they must go for a 2-point conversion.
So literally kickers are eliminated.
Well, they can still kick field goals.
Okay, so
there are still field goals. I watched Nick Folk on Sunday. You remember him, Nick Folk?
I remember Nick
watched
Folk.
him make a 52-yard field goal with room to spare one Sunday. Shit was crazy, man.
He kicked in the NFL for, 5 years?
Yeah, like 6 or 7, I think.
From the Jets.
Yeah. I think he might have kicked for the 49ers as well. But so there's no onside kicks as well because there's no kickoffs.
This I found interesting.
So if you want to get the ball back after scoring, you have to complete a 4th and 12 conversion. Which I thought that's an interesting number to pick.
It's on your own 35 or something like that, right?
It's on your 28. Yep.
So if you get the first down, you got the ball at the 40.
Yep.
Okay.
And you got 60 yards to go. You can only do it down by 17 or with less than 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter.
Nope.
Really?
Did you know that part? Yeah.
No.
Yeah,
Wow.
You can't do it unless
it's not willy-nilly. You have to have under certain circumstances.
Yep.
I think the biggest difference people are going to notice whenever they turn the AAF on, it's football. They.
Oh, it's football. It is football.
Listen, you're shaking your head.
Yep, I'll get to
and
it.
I want to distinguish the differences between a good product of football and playing football. Mm-hmm. The football we know today is not the football we all played growing up.
Nope.
It's not the football we watched growing up. It's different. Whether or not it's good or bad, it's a whole other debate. But it's different. It's a completely different game. Okay? Just the hits we've seen in this league already from the get-go, and those refs are not pulling their flags down immediately. We all saw the hit on Mike Bercovici. Dude got leveled.
Yep.
That player's sitting in jail for 2 weeks if that's in the NFL. Let's be real. But no, it's a league that has delivered on its promise of, hey, these football consumers, they're tired of watching the NFL. They're tired of watching flags get littered left and right. Let the boys play. And they finally have. Another difference between the NFL and the AAF has an independent head trauma company do all of their concussion stuff. A outside independent company.
Well, that's what the NFL does. It's an outside independent neurologist. I'm just telling you.
They do have one of those on the field, but all the other shit is team ran.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I say it's not true football, did you know that there's a limit on how many people you can rush?
There's 5.
You can only rush 5 people, and you can't have anybody considered on the line of scrimmage is a rusher, even if they're going to drop off, and anything that is also 5 yards off the ball is considered as a rusher.
Yeah.
Huh. I didn't know that one. I didn't know the 5 yards off.
Yeah, basically they're linebackers, so you can send middle linebacker blitzes, but not linebacker.
Yeah, there's wonky rules, and that's kind of expected. this league isn't supposed to be like a replacement league for the NFL.
No.
This league has been and will be viewed as a quote-unquote developmental league until it kind of gets its gears going. You peaked up. What's up?
Do you guys know how they determine who gets to be on which team?
So how they originally determined or how they determine it now? Because I do have a better understanding.
I understand how it works
now.
And how everything like that.
So from my understanding, they originally had a quarterback draft where all the teams drafted quarterbacks, right? And then the rest of the players are basically just like players that were cut from the NFL and waived. I don't know if this is the case or if this was the case, but teams have like affiliates in the NFL. Like for example, the Birmingham Iron are an affiliate of the Steelers. So if the Steelers cut a player after training camp, the Birmingham Iron get first dibs to that pool of players.
Yes. But that's also not even that is the way it is if they're on a roster, but if they're not on a roster, it's based off of where the college was.
That's right.
And that's first priority.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
So when the player played college.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Trent Richardson, that makes sense. Wow. Wow. That didn't even click with me, dude. Damn.
Yep. Right. And then, did you guys know that every single player has a void in their contract where if they get signed to an NFL roster, their AAF contract is void automatically?
Really?
Like they don't have to fight shit out of it.
But not the XFL.
Not the XFL.
Yeah,
no, the
so
XFL
I thought that was interesting too.
I know,
because they're kind of like bowing to the NFL. Like, yeah, like listen, like we're just league under you guys, but the XFL, hey, right here, middle finger to you guys.
Because the XFL is going to be their competition.
Yes.
That's why.
Did you know all the players signed the same contract?
Yes. 3 years,
also,
$250,000.
And it's $70,000, $80,000, and then $100,000.
Yep. Interesting thing. For every year a player plays in the AFL, they get 1 year scholarship worth money to go to school.
That's awesome.
To finish school.
Yep.
What if they've already finished their degree, though?
Good question.
You can go back. Go get another degree.
Yeah, I guess you can go back and get another degree.
I like that aspect. The thing with this is, everybody's like, oh, we're back to real football, all this stuff. The only reason the NFL has changed is because players from the 60s and the 70s are currently suing the NFL, or it may have been resolved by now, but they've taken billions.
Monetary-wise, it's been resolved.
Billions with a B from the NFL. And even players now who have retired recently have all been taking money out of lawsuits to the NFL, stuff like that. So I feel like, yeah, you're getting all the good stuff now, but in 20 years, when you have a guy who kills himself or has been designated with CTE and all that stuff, and we have this, and that'd be a tragic situation should that happen, and that's when you see the AAF tune their rules to be more so safety-wise like the league. And I think the same thing, everybody's like, oh, the XFL is going to be brutal and all this stuff. It will be at first, but then they're going to get sued, taken to court, and have to reevaluate their game.
I don't think so. You put it in the contract, you said under discretion, anything that happens is beyond our control. You know what you're getting into.
That's been in the contracts in the NFL now for years, and they're still getting sued over it and losing.
There's got to be better wording. There's a way to fix it.
Dude,
through the contract.
You can go to an amusement park and sign a waiver stating you will never sue them if you die or get hurt. You can turn around and sue them right then and there.
Well, amusement park's different. You can be like, because you didn't warn me, I can't put my hands up in this, right? Like,
if you go to an attorney, they will always find a reason why you can sue. Always. And there's people in the NFL circle that take the NFL to court over this for their clients, which are former players, and take them out to back and behind the shed, to put it nicely.
I think it's ridiculous.
It is.
I mean, people are so greedy with money. It's like, you got paid, like, most of the players got paid. They got paid more than they needed to. Mm-hmm. You knew what the risk was. Why are you coming after the NFL? This gave you your opportunity to become who you are, and you're just turning your back on it.
Well, I think a lot of it comes from the neglect the NFL's had. It's been proven that, at least in like the early 2000s, the NFL had at least 10 years worth of research that proved that, hey, this sport can really fuck your head up. And they just completely threw it away. They paid so much money to kind of hide all of these findings so their brand wouldn't take a hit monetary wise. Mm-hmm. Shifting back to the AAF, did you guys watch it? I mean, what'd you think? Did you like it?
I saw a little bit of it because I was doing flooring all weekend. So, but from what I saw, it was a lot more action. It was more fast paced, and I liked that.
I unfortunately didn't get to catch any of the games due to work, but I saw some highlights. I love that hit on Bergavici.
Yeah.
That hit was on point.
I didn't think it was dirty. I think it was right in the box where it should be. It was just you hit the snot out of it.
Yeah. And that's what the AAF needed, was that viral hit to go off on the first weekend.
Yep, that's all it needed. And there was 2 hits. There was another hit on the quarterback that was big too. I forget which one it was. Yeah, those 2.
My only concern is I was super hyped to watch it. I was really amped. I started watching it and I'm like, this is cool, this is that. And then by the time third quarter rolled around, I'm like, wow. I'm like, I know I'm not expecting NFL caliber football, but these guys aren't very good.
That's my concern.
That's kind of the thing. Will the curiosity factor be able to carry this league 10 weeks into the playoffs? I don't think so. Benjamin Albright pointed out on Twitter that around week 3 or week 4, ratings are going to dip. Yep. Did you see that the first AAFL game on Saturday beat out NBA ratings head to head for a primetime game on Saturday? Yes. Which is crazy.
What about this, though? What if maybe you turn this into a developmental league? You already got the groundwork for either where you played college at or what team was the last one to cut you, and turn this into a developmental league where you can throw a guy who, say if you draft him first overall and you don't want to put him into the NFL's pressure and put him into basically a farm system, you throw him down on that team, let him play there for the year and get his feet underneath him, bulk up and, train with your training staff.
Where are you going to get the funding?
The league's right there.
The league's there, but you got to get people in the stadium. It's going to be hard. Hey, come to the developmental league and watch Tua play for a year.
That's what I'm saying. If you get actual quality names into that,
and they do, this league is set. The foundation, the base this league is working off of is phenomenal. Mm-hmm. Phenomenal, dude. They have names like Bill Polian, Heinz Wood, Troy Polamalu. Dude, those names immediately attract people, man.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing with you.
They have television rights with CBS and NFL Network.
Which is surprising NFL Network would want to.
Yeah, really. But no, you have to think, they're involved with the NFL, so it's hey,
And it is football after the NFL is off, so it keeps the NFL Network's ratings up.
Very true. But, they have their own fantasy football app you can download. You can stream any game you want off their app for free.
The AAF?
Yes.
Oh. They have fantasy football?
Yes.
Oh. You didn't see that?
They have real time stuff where you can try to call to plays and dude, it's legit, man.
Okay, when's League OP going to AAF fantasy football?
Hey, we'll have to try it too, man.
Got convinced the commish.
Yeah, really. But no, did you guys actually know how this started? Where this idea came from?
Do not know.
Okay, so have you guys seen the ESPN 30 for 30 on the XFL?
I have not.
Okay. Well, the guy who produced it was, filming it, and he was putting all the pieces together, and he had this idea. He was like, hey, this is a really good idea. This was just done really wrong. And so he started it, and look where it is now.
Wow.
I mean, like I said with, like you said with Ben Albright, I'm interested to see what after week 4's ratings are. And because I was looking at the names of some of those must-watch players, Trent Richardson. Oh, okay, yeah, he was dog shit in the NFL, and he went out there and scored 2 touchdowns and looked like a bowling ball again.
He didn't look too great. It was just more they kind of focused those highlights on him. Didn't look amazing.
I'm interested to see if anybody in the AAF turns it around and then has a productive NFL career because he got a second shot in the AAF.
Well, see, that's kind of what they're banking on.
I know.
They just need that one guy to say, hey, I played here, and look at me now.
They need college.
We just need to get Chad Ochocinco and Terrell Owens to go in that league. Boom. Money.
Yeah.
Here's another thing that I saw this on, I think it was Twitter or Bleacher Report. Colin Kaepernick, who's been bullied by the NFL because he's so bad, why won't he go play for the AAF?
Because that won't get him money.
Yeah, it won't get him money.
I know.
We could argue about that forever. It's just not worth it.
Do you guys have any like favorite players, favorite teams? Have you decided the team you're rooting for this year?
I haven't yet. I kind of feel like the Fleet. I like the Hot Shots and going back and forth.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
So like that, obviously, because we're based in Arizona, I watched the Hot Shots game. Have you seen their uniforms? The uniforms are like kind of like Oregon's. Yeah,
but
they're okay.
I could have went to the
based
game
off of firefighters. That's why they're called Hot Shots and everything, and that's why those colors came into being.
Yeah.
I could have went to the game because my buddy Cody.
Well, tickets are super cheap too. And that's another kind of attraction for people to go. You can get seats in between the 20s for like $30.
But then when you saw the Hot Shots stadium, it was like ghost town. It was
in the end zones, but like
it's ASU Sun Devil Stadium for the Hot Shots.
No, it was up. Kent Summers posted a picture of the stadium. It was like right before half or something, and just almost no one was there.
Well, I mean, if they got 20,000 people in there, that's pretty productive for, 2 weeks ago, almost nobody heard of the AAF.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'll find it. You guys continue on.
So I think I'm kind of teetering between the Arizona Hot Shots and the Birmingham Iron. Birmingham Iron, obviously, because the Steelers are tied to them.
Yeah.
And they have like 7 players off their like former roster. It's crazy.
The Packers have 22 former players on in the AAF.
Really?
22 former players.
Here you go.
Not on one team.
Does that look like 20,000?
No.
Nah,
that looks like 300.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to get people in that stadium to get income for that. And that
Granted, it was week 1, and let's be real, where are we at? Bandwagon Central USA.
Yep.
Where was the NFL at on its first game?
Yeah, no. Well, let's pull that picture up compared to a Cardinals game this last year.
Oh.
Too soon?
I think there's more.
The Cardinals Stadium will be full just with other teams' colors.
I was going to say, it'll be full of the other
Yeah,
teams.
it'll be full whenever concerts come to town.
And that was a picture in the first quarter, actually.
Any favorite players in the AAF so far?
I'd like to watch Scooby Wright.
Yeah, I didn't see him much. He's on Arizona's roster, isn't he?
Yep, the Hot Shots, yeah.
Which
He's on
Scooby
the
Wright
Hot Shots.
is?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
I like Luis Perez because he came from the Rams. He's playing phenomenal, and we cut him instead of friggin' Sean Mannion, so you know.
Hey, Sean Mannion is the next quarterback.
Don't you dare start that. I don't know where that came from. Ben Albert has shot that down so many times. Friggin' joke.
No, he's not the next quarterback, but they should consider Goff goodbye.
Anyways, we'll say that for another day. We'll say that for another day. I think kind of the scheduling structure is really interesting for the AAF whenever you kind of match it up with the NFL. So the season started a week after the Super Bowl, biggest week of the year in our great country. The season runs through April 27th. April 27th will be Saturday. It's a championship game. Austin, what is April 27th? What is that week? Draft week.
Yeah, yep. That'll be on the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th.
Yep, third day.
Yep, third day.
Yep, third day. So I kind of find that interesting. So maybe after the championship week, you have these guys who didn't get drafted. Maybe they want to try their hand in the AAF. Also, how their like contracts are set up as well. With the teams being cut, you're going to see a lot of guys after they get cut from training camp go straight to the AAF immediately. Yep. And if they sign a contract, no, you already brought it up. If they sign a contract,
100% voidable if they get an NFL contract.
Yeah, so I sat there originally and I'm like, why would NFL Network broadcast these games? Like, what are they doing? Like, this game, as much as the NFL's a monopoly, why would they want to kind of showcase this league like they're doing?
Because they're going to get benefit from it.
Yeah, it's kind of like your developmental league. And that's been a knock on the NFL for so many years. Do you remember NFL Europe?
Yep.
Do you remember NFL Europe? The whole like developmental like overseas league they had.
They never put money into an actual development into the players.
Do you know how much money they could have made if they would have done it then? There's so many overseas fans that are dying to have NFL there.
The problem is getting players. Nobody plays actual football, like NFL American football, outside of the United States, and that's because you don't have colleges that play American football outside of the United States. You don't have any professional American football teams. I think if we get a team in the NFL, we being the NFL, gets a team in London, you will finally start to see some schooling and all that stuff actually teach football at the college level. Some prospects for them to be actually drafted potentially or get a try at a walk-on. and then slowly see it start to go from the United States Football League to the World Football League. That's why everybody has so many good soccer teams. Is because soccer is played everywhere.
Yep.
Nobody plays football like American football.
Yet, like you said.
Yet, yes. And it's just mainly because they haven't penetrated those markets. They have fans, but they haven't penetrated those to be able to teach and coach you to be a football player.
They have the opportunities. They're not using the resources to expand it.
I bet you that the NFL has missed out on numerous
Opportunities.
not even so opportunities, numerous generational or even lifetime, generational or even like the length of the NFL type of players because they don't have anything outside of America.
Well, there could be people in Mexico, Canada, we don't even know. There's some Canadians that come here, but Mexico has a big following for American football. We just don't have a team down there for them to watch, and there's not really great conditions for a field.
Mexico is favorite sport is not even soccer, it's football.
Yep.
Why are we not expanding in there? I mean, put a friggin' team there, watch this thing explode, and just lead the way.
The hardest thing in the NFL
There's a lot of reasons why.
Yeah, I get
the biggest one is they don't have the logistics figured out to have a team that would be centralized in Mexico or centralized in London and have to fly out every other week or every week for their away games.
Mentality, sleep,
and vice versa to having an away game for an NFL team to that London stadium or to that Mexico stadium. It fucks you up as an NFL player. It gets you off your schedule.
So then you're getting into the realm of you're making a whole new league almost out there.
You'd have to, and that'd be the best way is to make a Europe football league, a Mexico football league, a Asian football league. Literally just bringing those countries together to make their own league, and then having their quality opponent, if they've actually developed teams and developed players and have quality products,
The WFL.
turning it into the AFC and NFC again.
Well, let's get this conversation back on track because we could talk about why teams are in London or Mexico City all day.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good for various reasons. The bigger picture of the AAF. Do you see this lasting? Just purely based off of week one, everything you've seen, everything you've heard.
Lasting as in staying on a national stage, or lasting as being something that you can still do?
Being something you can still do. Still retaining that developmental league role.
Yes.
Yes.
I think they have the perfect foundation to build off of. I think there's enough public interest to keep the sport going in the springtime. They have all the name recognition. We've seen the product on the field. While it's not phenomenal, it's good enough, and that's what Americans will take.
I think the biggest thing is they chose the perfect time to put it out.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
I mean, right now we got hockey, we have basketball, and especially basketball's kind of losing their ratings just because it's getting so repetitive with some of the officials and players and stuff. This is something new for people to watch, and it's something to continue football.
Right. So my question to you gentlemen before we leave, will you be watching the AAF for the rest of the season?
I will watch one game or a game or two at least, possibly more depending on the quality that I see.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, we'll see Saturday, Sunday, watch Hot Shots or one game each and just see what happens.
Yeah, same here. That about wraps it up for today's show. We do have one very special thing we do at the end of every professional football episode called the Den and Green Minute. Basically, one of us takes a minute out of our day to rant about whatever we want. It could be about football. It could be about what I'm going to do with my Antonio Brown jersey now. Just anything that, kind of pertains, irking anything. Oscar Vizzoco has the pleasure of taking this minute this week.
I have a lot of pleasure with this.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Skyler, you're getting the...
No, I want no time.
No.
You got it.
Nope.
Are you going to cap me at the minute?
Yep.
No, don't cap me.
That's the rule.
No, don't cap me.
Okay.
Don't cap me.
Austin Vizzoco, you have the floor in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, so last week, somebody named Skylar Burkhart wanted to say I was a wall, referring to the GOAT scenario with Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. And all that little old Skylar can ever point to when he talks about it is Super Bowl rings or wins, yet never talks about the actual individual statistics. So, Skylar, do you know who has the highest career passer rating in regular season with a minimum of 1,500 pass attempts?
Oh, do you want me to answer? Because this is your rank.
Okay, all right, fine. Most consecutive seasons with a pass rating of over 100. Fifth highest postseason pass rating. Lowest career pass interception percentage. Best touchdown to interception ratio in NFL history, which, by the way, is over a touchdown more than the next closest person. And he can throw 80 some odd interceptions before being put down to that person's level. You then have the most best passing yards to interception ratio. Most consecutive pass attempts without a pick. Most consecutive touchdown passes at home without a pick. Most consecutive pass attempts without a pick six, fewest pick sixes per attempts, most consecutive passes without an interception at home, and all you do is ever say is Aaron Rodgers is overrated. Patrick Peterson is overrated. David Johnson is overrated. Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit.
I would like to point out Austin's wearing a Tom Brady jersey right now.
Yeah.
To rub it into Skylar's face that his Rams lost.
But you still bought his Tom Brady jersey from 2 years ago.
I don't own this. Anyways, as I was saying, Mr. Jared Goff can only put up 3 points, who you praise and love and say, oh my God, he's the second coming of Jesus. Yet, if I remember, in Aaron Rodgers' first Super Bowl, he threw 3 touchdowns, no picks, and beat the Steelers.
Oh, so we're bringing that up?
We're going to do this now.
All right. Cool.
So, the only thing you guys can say about the GOAT is...
This is you guys. I said Aaron Rodgers is better.
Okay. Donnie, I formally apologize to Donnie. I'm in just a ranting mood. I've been waiting for this. Skylar, the only thing you can ever say is Super Bowl wins, which... Brady has had a top 10 defense all but 2 seasons, and those 2 seasons he didn't. He didn't even make the AFC Championship game. And Rodgers is only a top 10 defense twice, one of which he won the Super Bowl, and the second of which he should have went to the Super Bowl had it not been for an idiot named Brandon Bostic.
All I'm saying is you have so much talent, but no results besides 1 Super Bowl.
No results? What the fuck, dude? I just read off all his
Tom Brady has
accomplishments.
5 rings for what he's done. And you could argue against the rings for whatever reason, but the results...
That's a team-based thing.
He led them. Tom Brady's arguably the greatest quarterback for his rings.
Okay, and he has 3 Super Bowls that are tainted with cheating? He's lost to a backup quarterback for most of the season. He lost to Eli Manning twice. That's what
There's no arguing. That's what
as Drake would say, I'm off this shit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another wonderful edition of the Pile on the podcast, where we love football and hate Skylar's opinion. Episodes out every Wednesday, 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. This has been a professional football episode. If you haven't checked out our college episode, go ahead and move over to that. If you've completed both episodes, congratulations. You've unlocked the Xbox Achievement Award. Valentine's Day is coming up. Spend some time with your boo. If not, go get yourself a boo. For the time being, my name is Donnie Duran.
Skylar Burkhart. And
Austin actually walked out. See you next time. This has been the Pylon podcast.
Have a great night, everyone.